Welcome to Arsenal Report, your daily source for all things Arsenal FC. From match updates and transfer talk to behind-the-scenes stories, we've got it all. If you're a true gunner, this is your home. Hit subscribe and join the pride. Victory through harmony. Let's get started. Kids of fame Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly are being mentored by Arsenal's top guns Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka. At 18, the academy graduates could become Champions League winners next month. But it's no surprise to Nwaneri that they are driving the Gunners' young generation towards glory. The Quicksilver forward and England left-back Lewis-Skelly have forged a double act through the age groups at Arsenal, just as Rice and Mason Mount were once inseparable contemporaries as schoolboys at Chelsea. After scoring his 9th goal of the season in the 4-0 rout of doomed Ipswich, Nwaneri revealed, "This is what we've spoken about since we were young, breaking in the team together. We've just had our eyes on that vision, and the fact that we've been able to do it, it's amazing. Declan and Bukayo, that's the two who are very close to us. They help us out. They keep us grounded. They lift us up when we need it as well. They've been brilliant with us. It's mainly just personal stuff like how they dealt with things when they were first coming up, and how they dealt with the pressure, and maybe when they didn't play well, or when they did do well, and just managing that. At some clubs, a dressing room of big beasts can be a daunting prospect for teenagers breaking through into the first team if they are perceived as a threat to established senior professionals. But Nwaneri and Lewis-Skelly have had no hang-ups since they were fast-tracked into the first team group at the Emirates. Nwaneri, who became the youngest Premier League player in history when he made his debut against Brentford aged just 15 years and 181 days back in 2022, said, "That's testament to the way that the players treat us. They treat us like we're men, ever since we first came in. They've treated us well, like we're part of the team. So that's just how we feel now." I wouldn't say I was nervous at first, but there was a different pressure that I was feeling, and I think I saw that was a good thing, that it shows I care, that I'm feeling these things. I was fine with all that sort of stuff. I'm not surprised because this is what I've envisioned in my head. This is what I always wanted to do. So, it's no surprise I've achieved it. Me and Miles, we talk every second of every day. We're always just talking about everything. We look back on the old times, we look into the future. It's everything. We've got loads of photos of us two from young, loads of pictures and videos of us together. We've been pushing each other since we were young. One person will start playing up a level. Then the next will start playing up. One person will start scoring. Then the next will start scoring. That's just how me and him work. It's not competitive, but we kind of raise each other's standards, and that's so good to have as a friend. It's been tough for me adapting to a new position on the right wing, but that's part of football. If the manager asks you to play somewhere else, you have to do it to the highest level. It's been up and down, but I've enjoyed the challenge, definitely. Naturally, I've always been a number 10. I've played as a number 10 my whole life. But I can play as a striker as well. Right wing is a new one for me, but now I've liked the challenge of a new position, and I can play anywhere the team needs me. It's been so crazy, but this is what the manager wants. He's had this vision in his head of us. He wants us to win everything, and he's bringing us to that level, and we're getting closer and closer every week. The Champions League semi-finals are set, and Arsenal are right at the heart of it. A historic opportunity awaits Mikel Arteta's side as they gear up to face PSG in a mouth-watering clash that pits two ambitious, wounded giants against each other. The Gunners head into this tie brimming with confidence after dismantling Real Madrid 5-1 on aggregate in the quarter-finals. But injuries and suspensions are already shaping the storyline, especially with Thomas Partey suspended for the first leg at the Emirates. Arteta is walking a tactical tightrope. With Partey out and Jorginho an injury doubt, a reshuffled midfield could see young Miles Lewis-Skelly step in. Add to that potential fitness issues for Ricardo Calafiori, and suddenly Arsenal's backline choices aren't so straightforward either. The return of Jurriën Timber offers hope, but his role and fitness remain a work in progress. Up front, the absence of Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz continues to sting. But Arteta's men have found answers. Mikel Merino, acting as a makeshift striker, has brought energy, while Bukayo Saka and Martinelli remain constant threats on the wings. David Raya has also become a standout figure, with his commanding performance against Real Madrid turning heads. But PSG aren't here to make up the numbers. Luis Enrique's team looks increasingly settled. League One is wrapped up, giving them the luxury of rest and preparation. Their midfield trio of Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, and João Neves is dynamic, robust, and will test Declan Rice to the limit. Then there's the terrifying form of Ousmane Dembele, now reborn as a goal machine with 25 strikes this calendar year. Alongside him, the likes of Bradley Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, and Desire Doué make this PSG attack one of the most unpredictable and fluid in Europe. Even without Mbappe, they are stacked with firepower. While the present is thrilling, the future is demanding serious planning. The summer of 2026 looms with 7 players potentially leaving on a free if contracts aren't sorted. The good news? Arsenal are working hard behind the scenes. Top priorities: locking down wonder kids, Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly. Talks are already underway, and both players are keen to stay. Expect pay rises and long-term deals to reflect their growing importance. Leandro Trossard remains a valuable squad player. An extension is likely, though he's no longer seen as a starter. Takahiro Tomiyasu has struggled with injuries all season. A renewal seems unlikely unless he proves fitness. Alexander Zinchenko has seen minutes vanish due to Lewis-Skelly's emergence. If he wants regular football, a summer exit could be on the cards. Then come the loanies. Albert Sambi Lokonga has impressed at Sevilla, and the Spanish side may make the move permanent. Nuno Tavares continues to suffer injuries, this time breaking down in tears after a setback with Lazio in the Europa League. His Arsenal future looks bleak. Meanwhile, the exits of Partey, Jorginho and Kieran Tierney are almost certain. Add to that the expiry of short-term deals for Raheem Sterling and Neto, and you can see why new sporting director Andrea Berta has his hands full. Before the Champions League drama resumes, it's back to domestic duty against Ipswich Town this weekend. Arsenal are all but guaranteed a top 4 finish, but maintaining momentum is key both for confidence and for commercial success. The Champions League brings not just prestige but financial muscle. That's something Arteta and Berta will want to fully capitalise on this summer. With 3 games between Arsenal and Champions League immortality, fans can dare to dream. But the groundwork off the pitch must match the ambition on it. Can Arsenal survive PSG's pressure and reach their first Champions League final in nearly 2 decades? And can they secure the future of their rising stars before summer chaos begins? Moving forward. Victor Gyökeres insists no one can predict what will happen after hitting another hat-trick with interest in him mounting. The Sporting Lisbon frontman has continued to underline his reputation as one of Europe's premier strikers. His treble saw Sporting secure a 3-1 win over Moreirense on Friday night, keeping themselves narrowly ahead in the title race, and took the Swedes' personal total for the season to 47. It was also Gyökeres' 5th hat-trick in all competitions this season. One of those came against Manchester City in the Champions League with the striker, who was signed from Coventry City when Ruben Amorim was in charge, tipped to join one of Europe's major outfits this summer. Sporting have continued to offload their biggest names for the right fee as they enjoy a hugely successful period, and Gyökeres is likely to pursue pastures new with Arsenal and Manchester United, both linked with his signature. Despite that, the 26-year-old has remained tight-lipped on his future and insisted that no forecast can be made regarding his next move. He said, "No one can predict what will happen. We enjoy the moment." The links with Manchester were inevitable once Amorim made the move to Old Trafford. The Red Devils have continued to struggle in the final third, with none of their options relied upon to consistently score. But Gyökeres' price may prove beyond them. Arsenal, meanwhile, have continued to invest and will again have Champions League revenue. Their failure to sign a striker last summer has come back to bite them, and they're linked with a number of prolific frontmen, Gyökeres among them. After staying put in January, it was reported by The Sun that the Portuguese giants were willing to allow his exit should they receive a fee between £55 million and £70 million as a show of gratitude towards the Swede. Gyökeres was asked about such an agreement, but said, "I can't say anything about that." Gyökeres narrowly broke the 20-goal barrier when he was playing in the Championship with Coventry, and that saw Sporting come knocking just under 2 years ago. He's proved to be a massive hit with the Portuguese club, ready to make a massive profit if they do cash in. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has been warned that Thomas Partey will be a huge miss when they take on Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-finals of the Champions League. Partey will be suspended for the first leg at the Emirates later this month. The midfielder picked up his third yellow card in Europe this season as Arsenal knocked holders Real Madrid out of tournament at the Bernabeu on Wednesday, having beaten them 5-1 on aggregate in the quarter-finals. Former Gunners star Theo Walcott has hailed Partey's midfield display during the second leg of that tie and believes Arteta will struggle to find a replacement, as Arsenal do not have many midfield options at their disposal, with Mikel Merino now operating as a makeshift striker. Arsenal and Paris Saint-Germain are definitely the two best teams in this season's Champions League, and the semi-final is going to be a completely different story to when Mikel Arteta's side beat them 2-0 at the Emirates in October, Walcott told BBC Match of the Day. PSG hadn't really clicked then, but they have now. Arsenal will be ready for them, but I think they might miss Thomas Partey, who is suspended after his yellow card tonight. He was so important at the Bernabeu, not just with the way he was getting back into the backline and to help out with the amount of crosses he was dealing with tonight. Partey was also helping Arsenal to slow the ball down and to control the midfield. The PSG game is all going to be about the midfield for me, and Declan Rice is now probably going to play a game with someone who he is less familiar with. Mikel Merino can drop in there, but that might affect the forward line more because of where he has been playing recently. This is what Mikel Arteta will be thinking about now, and he might tinker with a few things against Ipswich and Crystal Palace to try things out before the semi-final. Despite Walcott's concerns, Arteta is feeling confident about his side's chances of success, and he has urged them to carry their momentum into the semi-final clash with PSG. The feeling that we have is our reality, basically, Arteta said at his post-match press conference. And in the feeling that I had before the game, when the players were transmitting and how prepared I could feel the team, that we are ready to compete against anybody. Now we have to continue to do that because I think we have some momentum now. It's certainly another massive step. Where we finished last year and the way we're doing it this year, the teams with their eyes on us and the competition, it's incredible. Big credit to Madrid. It was my first time as a coach in that dugout, and today I realised after 3 minutes in this stadium, anything is possible. They are specialists of creating such chaos and belief, and it's very difficult to understand really what's going on in the game and have certain certainty about how we controlled it. I think they showed a lot of maturity. It's been quite different before because it was impossible to be in any round because the club wasn't in the Champions League for 7 years. So, that shows you the turnaround and a lot of great decisions that the club has made and the contribution a lot of people have made to be where we are. It's a team that you can feel today how hungry, how determined and ambitious that is to go. We're going for more, for sure.